Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of NLUD Conversation. Today, under the segment of Vimarsa, where we discuss academic initiatives at NLU University Delhi. I am Manas Mahajan joining, and I'm also joined by my good friend who's on exchange in India from the University of Passau with Niklas.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure to have Niklas with us. He's an exchange student from the University of Passau. He's been here since the past 2 semesters, and we would wish to explore certain aspects of how he has found his time here, and most importantly, how did he reach here. So, Nicholas, I would like to start by asking you, how and why did you choose NLU?
That was actually a quite easy decision for me because I really wanted to go to India to experience and try to understand the culture and the life in a country which is very important. It will be a more important partner of our European companies and the countries and the European Union in general. And then my university, Passau, has partnership with the NLU. And then when I started some research of the institution here, it was quite easy to see, like it has a good reputation, and I thought that I can benefit from my time here at this academic institution.
And it's great to know that you have a certain interest towards coming to India and studying. And how has the university process in terms of admission, your facilitation, visa, and formalities? That's usually a daunting task. How did you manage that?
It was actually quite easy because my university at home, as well as your university here, supported me with all the necessary documents and the advice, and these kind of things. And when I came here, one of the first things I had to do with the administration of the Home Ministry here was the registration with the FRRO. And for that, the administrator was quite helpful to remind me about the deadlines and providing me the necessary documents for that. For that, I'm really thankful for the assistance. Yeah.
That's good to see you are at guest. You are always most welcome and supported. Legal training and academic experience of two different legal systems, the civil law system there in your home university and the common law system in India. How do you think that has allowed you to, let's say, take up opportunities in the future or change your approach to certain things?
I think at the end, maybe in working in practice, I think it will not differ as much. I mean, even when we do the internships, you also take a look at the court says, right?
Yeah.
that's also interesting for us. But like reading a lot of these cases was interesting to see how this is structured, how the parties argue, how the court deals with the arguments. That was quite interesting.
That's so good to know. You appreciate the nuances of an adversary system. And it indeed are sometimes quite interesting. It almost unravels like a story. I think how the pedagogy is at our university, they really focus on a discussion, Socratic methods. So they always try to not give you the correct answer, but ask questions and then, go on until you are able to arrive at the correct answer.
Yes, that's right. I noticed that, and I also could appreciate that a bit more at the end of my first semester. At the beginning, it was not frustrating. It was I had maybe some starting issues with understanding everything and getting used to that. And then there were all these open questions. I was like, did I miss the answer? Did I miss them? Until I reached the point when you say, okay, take the answer, write it down, and the question, write it down, and look it up later, and you go through it, read it. And I think it was quite good because then you're actually encouraged to go through all the readings and have these questions as a guideline.
I think you are quite a diligent student. Everyone must appreciate that. You've mentioned that it was a bit difficult and earlier, but then once you got into it, it became much easier. But I must bore you with this question. Classes, academics, exams. We are a university which has a good standard of academic rigor and expectations. The student crowd you see, they are the backbone of our university, right? They maintain those standards. How did you find yourself tackling those? I'm sure the structure of ours with written projects, vivas, mid semesters, end terms, and that too within a 4 months time period can be quite rigorous. How did you cope with that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Regarding the exams, I must say it's not that different in the exam itself, because as you have like case-based questions, we also have this in Germany. The only difference is here it's common law.
Yeah.
You use cases to answer, and sometimes I think the only major issue I had with that was like in some subjects there were so many complicated Indian names in the case names, which made it more complicated. But then for that, also some of the professors said it's not about learning the names by heart, not learning every detail by heart. It's about the understanding, and then it's fine if you can describe facts a bit and then apply the case. And that was very helpful. I think it just makes sense if you don't learn everything by heart. And it's a bit more understanding-based questions. So I think that was good. But another thing which was something new for me were the projects today, and that it was in every subject. I was at the beginning surprised by that when the professors told me, okay, we have a project there. And there, oh, it's a lot of projects. But then you just start working on it when you think the deadlines are coming. It gives you a certain motivation boost when you have like 4 projects, 1 week to go. Of course, you work on it a bit, and then you work through it and you get done with that. It's actually a great feeling, and also good for me. It's a good training to work academically. And that was actually, looking back on it, it was good, but in the moment it was
Yeah, I can only imagine, especially because it's so new. For the benefit of our viewers, I would tell them that we have our breakdown of the 100 marks throughout the semester between a midterm, end term, and a project. And the projects, they run almost throughout the semester. They start with the middle of the semester's first month and end with a viva in the, let's say, beginning of the last month. And it's a good staggered process with topic selection, and then you get a topic review, then there's a first consultation, there's a first draft, there's a synopsis feedback, and then there are multiple drafts, then you get the final submission, then your viva, right?
Yeah, and that's important to highlight there, that the professors, the chairs itself, they support you and assist you if you have any questions on the topic, or if there are some issues with maybe some research issues, they help you with that. At least they did well.
No, I think they are quite helpful. The idea is that these are certain initiatives which comes from professors' end, right? So even though while a student may not be comfortable or confident that they want to take something up, but if given that opportunity and space, they would surely come up with something, right? And that is the hand-holding process in this, I feel. I am now in the 5th year, I am towards the end of that journey. And I feel sometimes I was afraid of showing up, but because I had to, I figured out and managed it. And then I realized it was nothing. So I was worried unnecessarily. It's also the legislative capital of the country. Did you visit courts? How did you find the legal exposure here?
Yeah, it was at the district court and the high court. It was the district court in the area of the high court. I explored both of that, and I think it was quite interesting, especially the high court, because it was full in English, so I was able to follow that, and I was amazed by some of the advocates' performance there. That was amazing, and also the judge, how he keeps this together when people get a bit more emotional, then the judge is coming and settling down. All of that. It was impressive to see.
That's so good, and it almost makes you feel like a second feeling of pride about your system, because we take these things for granted sometimes, but to imagine that somebody else coming from outside comes and appreciates that despite of so many difficulties, our system works and it works well in the ways it can, right? And it does put in that effort. It's so good to know. That's quite a pleasant surprise, Niklas, to hear that you got to visit courts and enjoy and see how they really operate. And the fact that they are in English is a good benefit for you to also learn. And it has been a great experience for me to speak with you today and share. And you shared your thoughts on your time here, which is something I think a lot of people can only imagine. It's quite a different thing. Like sometimes we would ask, like, oh, there's a random foreigner in our university eating shore bhature with us. But that's the beauty of our college, right? That there's so many academic initiatives and it's not limited to a domestic nature. We have summer schools, exchange programs, master's, PhD exchange programs, and we host a wide variety of individuals here. And we are happy to know you are one of them and had a good time.
Okay, thank you very much for having me and giving me the opportunity to share my views, my experiences I had in my time so far. And I can highly encourage everyone who's looking from abroad to our discussion here to come to the NLU and experience all of that on his own.
That's great.